How to succeed in the Murrow College. Follow these steps and you too can be like us. Step 1. Know your strengths and weaknesses. This may sound obvious, but knowing what kind of communication student you are is important in order to succeed. Maybe you like being in front of the camera, or behind the camera, or just behind the screen. Knowing where you fit will help you understand yourself.
I would say students probably need to spend some time on self-reflection, maybe at the ending of the semester, think about what they really enjoyed. But life is constantly moving. They don't always sit down to think about their own personal strengths and weaknesses, but having those conversations with faculty and staff really get them thinking on what that might be.
I think it's very important to know your strengths and weaknesses, because if you know your strengths, you know what you can those tools you already have to help you be successful. And if you know your weaknesses, then you know what you can focus on specifically while being enrolled in the Murrow College to improve those skills and just even out your skills as whatever industry you're going into specifically with Murrow.
Step 2. Know your way around the buildings. It's important to know the 3 buildings in the Murrow College, which are Murrow, Jackson, and Gertson Hall. They all have their purposes, like Jackson is for the studio, Murrow for the daily evergreen, and Gertson for academic advising.
You want to know where certain offices are located. I definitely have had students come late to their meetings because they couldn't figure out where Gertson is, especially Gertson 117 when we're in our new space. You want to make sure you know where to go, especially with classes. Maybe you're having a class that's offered in a new room you haven't been in, but if you're familiar with the building, it should be pretty easy for you to find that new class space.
It really depends on what you're doing within Murrow. So if you're going to be in Jackson, like doing broadcast, then it's probably important to know where the recording studio is. But other than that, honestly, you'll just gradually learn your way around all of the buildings, just being a member of Murrow.
Step 3. Join a club. Joining a club is where you can really find yourself and your group of people. There are many clubs to choose from, like Cable 8, KUGR, the Daily Evergreen, and more.
I think it's very important to get involved with different organizations. I personally am a member of Cable 8 Productions, and that has really helped me make connections within Murrow and improve my skills as an editor, director, producer, all that fun stuff. So I think it's really beneficial for students to get involved within Murrow in different organizations.
Having a community is really important too, especially for mental health, because finding your people, your group, is really important and part of that college experience as well. So I think it's really important. Not every student does that, but it's a really great resume builder and a great way to get yourself more connected, especially being in a town that's maybe a little bit more isolated compared to like living in a city like Seattle.
Step 4. Know how to balance your work and social life and know your limits. You don't want to be the person constantly doing work and never having time to hang out with your friends.
I think it's very important to balance your social and work life. If you try and work too much, you're going to overwork yourself, which I have seen with some people that I know. And if you have too much of a social life, you're not going to get any of your schoolwork done. So it's really important to have a really good balance of getting your schoolwork done and getting good grades while also leaving time for yourself to relax, enjoy alone time, as well as hanging out with other people.
I find it's very important to create a schedule for yourself, because every semester that's going to change. How many hours you're working, what shifts you're working, what classes you're taking. Some classes, depending on the semester, are going to take more time because they may not come as easily to a student. It's kind of silly to schedule out your social life, but that is something that students may have to do, and it may mean compromising, saying what's more important, is my education or going out and spending time with my friends and my peers. Also, balancing any extracurricular activities. It's going to be important that you make your time commitments. You're not setting yourself up for failure by doing too much, because you also want to make sure you're spending time for yourself.
Step 5. Know that you have resources around you to help you succeed in school if you're having a tough time. Even when it comes to your mental health, know that there is help and that you're not alone.
So I always tell my students, talk to your professor first, because they're the ones who are teaching you the content, so they know what their expectations are. Definitely refer back to the syllabus. Use those office hours from the professor. That's definitely very important. The Academic Success Center is also really good because they have some tutors, more for the lower division classes, but some of our upper division ones like Com 300 and Com 333 have peer mentors. Sometimes you can find a classmate who may be excelling in the content and asking them to help tutor you or help you understand the material. Also, again, faculty, because everyone's teaching the content, go back to them.
Step 6. Develop a really good relationship with your professor and advisor. Having a good relationship will create a better understanding between one another and will make communication easier. See what I did there?
I've definitely gotten close with one of my professors lately, and she was really good for Com 300 this semester. It was Wendy Rainey. Shout out Wendy. She was really awesome, and I think it's just really, it only helps you to have a good relationship with your professors, so that way if you need to reach out to them to talk about your schoolwork, then they're there to help you with it, as well as like they're also just there if you need help in general.
So that's a little different between the advisor and the professor. Professor, office hours. That's what they are there for. They want students to come in and ask questions, to engage, to really learn the material instead of just kind of breezing through it. And then for advisors, coming to use the Academic Success Center or the Murrow Center for Student Success and coming to see us, scheduling your appointment early, using drop-ins when you have questions, and also being prepared to know what the curriculum is.
Step 7. Take care of your mental health. It's okay to struggle, especially when it comes to being away from home. It's okay to take time for yourself and to have breaks from school and life. And refer back to Step 5 and know your resources.
I think it's very important to take care of your mental health, especially within college and school. There's a lot going on, whether you're a part of extracurriculars, social life and friend groups, relationships, and just your workload overall. It's really good, and it's really important to be balanced with that. And if you're not careful with your mental health, then I've seen it happen literally this semester where one of the people I know did not have the best mental health, and it really affected them, and you really saw them, and now they have to stay back another semester or so to graduate a little bit later. So it's really important to stay on top of your mental health. And if you need help, please go and reach out. There's people that care about you, and there's resources here especially.
And finally, never, ever touch Ed's SIG, or else you will suffer the consequences with none of the equipment working. Thanks, Ed. Thanks for watching. Now, you know how to succeed in Murrow College, and you're a step ahead of everyone else. Thanks for watching this video, and as always, go Cougs!